Hello everybody, this is Robin Cool Gaming over here. You know, a lot of people have asked me, what the flip are you doing? I got some symbols behind me. I figured out it come in handy really. So I'm telling you that we're going to add a little bit of Carnage. Absolute Carnage. Now, that's an interesting movie to talk about. It is one of my favorite MCU movies of all time because I really enjoyed it, honestly. It was a really good sequel to the original Venom movie. And a lot of people didn't really like the first one, so the second one was a breath of fresh air, honestly, for me and for a lot of people too. Now, as a Venom Let There Be Carnage movie enthusiast, I was hoping they would make some killer action figures. And they delivered, of course. You got SH Figuarts, and let's say Marvel Legends only did a Venom figure that was from the first movie, so that was a bummer. But then it finally came, the movie Carnage figure, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna buy it. And yet here we are, taking this review of the figure. Now, how will I review this figure? It's simple. I'm just going to go through the main things that this figure can give to you, and then give my final thoughts. But honestly, I'm really excited to see what Hasbro has been cooking up. Maybe this time it'll be better than I expected. So let's jump right into it. Okay, now, first things first, the packaging. And wowie zowie, this is a good looking packaging. Honestly, first impressions, I really love that it's a window. Now on the side you can see some artwork of Carnage from the movie. I think it's from some promotional art. Then on the back you got another shot of Venom and Carnage fighting, another promotional art. And on this side you get nothing. I honestly think they could have added more with this box. Maybe like a good shot of the figure so you know what you should be expecting. Because just reusing promotional material is lazy. But yeah, let's get him out of the box. And there we go. It's plastic packaging still inside. And it looks fine at first glance. I really like it. And in case you haven't noticed, it has the old packaging because it needs to hold the tendrils. Now, let's take a good shot at these, because wowee, they look big. Not to brag, but those tendrils are quite extendable and really maneuverable, so I want to see. But yeah, this is a close-up look a little bit. It really looks nice. Hopefully the figure won't disappoint that much, so it's out of the box and we're taking a look at it. Now, as you can see, it really feels fine and smooth. And genuinely, I think this figure could be worth it. Like, the tendrils and everything are so detailed. And of course, you see the holes over here. Now, in case you don't know, this is where the tendrils pop on. Just so you know, for clarifying. So, if you're doing shots with Carnage, you just don't look at his back when he's not using his tendrils. So that's more or less it for the figure, how he looks. It is a bit harsh to stand, but that's okay. Now, looking at the standpoint of the accessories, he's got quite a lot of accessories, honestly. So, he has an alternate head where he's got all the tongue out. Then, you got an accessory for a right arm and a left arm. I don't know what did they do with that. So, you got one where there's a giant slicing blade, let's say. And then you got one hand that has a claw forged. And of course you got all of those tendrils, so that's another bonus. But still, I think in accessories it's a bit lackluster, so I'll be skipping on that. Now to look at his articulation, which we all came for. So the figure is genuinely nice. Now the head can look left and right, not a problem with that. It can go a little bit up, not too much, and it can go down quite good. But the head movement's a little bit limited, not that bad. Then you've got the arm joints. It is a bit harsh when it comes to the main joint, but it's still okay for the most part. But it is a little bit hard to move around since it is such a big figure. Then of course you got the muscle joints. It doesn't go all the way in, of course. That is just the courtesy of Hasbro, but not a problem. Then you got some of the swivels that you have on the wrists, and it can move a little bit upward, a little bit down, not a lot. So then we look at the torso. It can have a little bit of a neck crunch, not too much. It can go backwards too, so basically you can do either go back or go forward. Not a lot, but still good. Then you got, of course, the legs. Now looking at them, you got nice and easy flexibility over here on the joints. Then the toe joints, none of them are occluded. You can go a little bit on the upwards and inwards, but not a lot. So yeah, that's more or less for, and of course the swivel for the legs, but not, and of course it can go a little bit out, not too much. It cannot go fully around. I would have rather had a different figure, but it's still fine. So the articulation, but still, this joint right here with the arms, a little bit too stiff for me and for my taste. So yeah, that's the articulation, everybody. Now, what are my final thoughts on this figure? Well, genuinely, honestly speaking, for the figure overall, it's really good. It scales really nicely with the other figures, and it's really tall, so that's good. But it doesn't go well with stance when you're trying to do a mirror pose, because he's way too heavy. But that won't be a problem. The accessories are a little bit lackluster, but I think that Hasbro could have done more. And of course, the posing is really great. The articulation a little bit limited, but still nice. So what would I rate this figure? Honestly, this figure for me is a 7 out of 10. And that is simply for two reasons. First one is a lackluster roster of accessories. Because, come on, you have Carnage of all people. You can do a lot of things with him. And considering he's pulled out so many blades in the movie, you could have done more, Hasbro. And a little bit of articulation that could be a little bit less limited could be great for Carnage, because he's such a dynamic figure. And that's more or less it for the review of Carnage from the movie Venom Let There Be Carnage.